Hello, this is Naudi Aguilar at Functional Patterns, and I'm here to announce my first official 30-day challenge. I'm not big onto these types of gimmicks. Many of you probably think I'm being sarcastic right now. I'm not being sarcastic. I think this is a challenge that will benefit just about everyone. One of the most important concepts that I've come across in functional patterns has been myofascial release. You guys always see me doing it on many videos where I pretty much just put a ball and have it rub it somewhere on my body with the intention of trying to get a muscle that's been hypertonic and getting it to become a little bit more lengthened and a little more balanced. So myofascial release has been a huge help for me. It's helped me out of great periods of anxiety. It's helped me out of physical pain, joint pain, lower back pain, and shoulder pain, neck pain. It's been my saving grace in so many ways, and I think there's nobody that's really done a challenge on myofascial release. So I think myofascial release is one of those things that is meriting of a challenge, and I'm not concerned about what it's going to do to your body. If you do like a 30-day deep squat challenge, or if you do some kind of a push-up challenge, you got to consider that if you follow these approaches, you're probably going to facilitate some kinds of imbalances on your body, and that could have some ramifications later on down the road. So what we're going to be employing is I'm going to be employing a video per day on here on YouTube, Instagram, my Facebook, showing the myofascial releases that appear to be relevant to me. As you guys have known, when you guys first saw me on my YouTube video, I had this kyphoid lordosis. I had this hyperextension of my hips. This is kind of how I stand it. I tried retracting my shoulders to compensate for a bad posture, but if you look at my videos about 5 years ago, I'm not the person, I'm definitely not the same person now as who I was then. And things have changed. Before I used to tell people to, pin their shoulder blades back and, tuck their hips under. But as a result of me trying to make these changes, I've always had the right intention of trying to correct dysfunctions on the body. However, we don't know much about this reality. And since we don't know much about this reality, why we're even here in the first place, you got to go through trial and error to find out what the real truth is when it comes to fixing postural distortions. So my goal is to shed a little light on some of the stumbling blocks that I've had in these next 30 days, talking about the new patterns of distortion that I put forth into my body by trying to address the kyphosis and the hyperextension. How did I go about that? And then what imbalances am I now having to correct as a result of my poor execution before? I'm sure I'm still going to be wiring in imbalances now, guys. I mean, this is a very, very difficult thing to figure out, but nonetheless, I feel better. I feel better with my body. The people around me aren't really in pain. They aren't anxious. They seem to be quite relaxed. And, it seems like at least what I'm teaching up until this point seems to be better. And that's really the way science should work. Hold something as a specific kind of truth until it is proven to be untrue, and then you evolve yourself. Functional patterns has been a continually evolving system, and this is kind of showing some of that evolution. So the first release I'm going to go after is probably one of the most dogmatic releases, or it's going to address one of the most dogmatic ideals that I got when I first became a trainer. It's this notion of pinning your shoulder blades back. Okay, so when you pin your shoulder blades back like this, what your goal is to open up your posture. The problem is that when you tell people to pin their shoulder blades back and open their posture, sometimes it over-opens the posture. You end up lengthening your pec major, and now you have created a structurally deficient body, especially within the pec major, because the pec major needs a lot of activation. Pinning your shoulders back is, honestly, as far as I can see it now, it's one of the most damaging things you can do to your body. It hyperextends your T-spine, and this is what's happened with a lot of personal trainers out there, where they'll start talking about, okay, retract your shoulder blades or adduct your scapulas. This has facilitated all sorts of distortions on the bodies that I used to train, and now I'm starting to have to backtrack and eliminate some of the distortions going on. Now, we're going to use a lacrosse ball to get into the point, one of these points that happens to get hypertonic as a result of you pinning your shoulder blades back. It's going to be called it's going to be two main points. It's going to be the rhomboids minor primarily, and the mid-trapezius. It's going to be located right here on that middle portion of the scapula, right? Now, before I used to tell you guys, always release your pecs, always release your pecs. And the reason I would tell you to release your pecs is because I wanted to facilitate this opening. But for many of you who follow functional patterns, you are going to be over overly open, and that's going to lead to major problems later on down the road. It's stuff that I've probably been learning more so in about the last 8-9 months, and since I've gotten this new information, I have to share it, and here's a good start for you guys addressing over that over retraction of the scapula. So all you're really going to do is just grab a ball, place it behind where that mid-trapezius is, so about mid-scapula, okay, upper thoracic region. Then all you're going to do is just grab your arm here passively, and you're going to pull it across in this direction, and then you're just going to lay down some pressure, especially right next to the spine. You can go towards the shoulder blade. However, the muscles are being pulled from the spine. They're being pulled towards the spine, so in that regard, you want to attack the muscles that are closer to the spine, so that way the tissues will release and the scapulus will then abduct a little bit more. Okay, so you're just going to get in there. Odds are this should feel pretty damn tender. And I used to tell people all the time, don't release these muscles because these need to be tonic to hold your posture upright. You guys are probably doing it too much now. And we got to try thinking about what we're going to, we got to think about the ramifications of overdeveloping any muscle on the body. At Functional Patterns, we overdevelop certain muscles, and now we have to kind of find a way to balance that stuff out. Okay, so you just pull that sucker across, just lean in there. You can do both sides. I've been getting on my myofascial release like crazy. For me, this is going to be about a 6-month challenge. But I just decided to do this for 30 days just to give you guys some insight on the MFR that I'm doing right now. When I was doing this a few days ago, it was agonizing. It was absolutely painful. I mean, I'll do this from time to time, but as of late, I've been really attacking it right that spot right close to the spine, and it was quite painful. So for you guys, make sure that you post it online, post it on Instagram, tag me on the Facebook platforms, even on YouTube. If you make a YouTube video, I'd love to see what you guys are working on. I'd like to see what points you find on your body. I'm going to be giving you guys the insight of what I'm seeing, what I've seen with people, the way that my myofascial release practice has kind of evolved, and I think for me it would be interesting to see what you've actually evolved as well within this time. Anyway, I hope you guys found that to be informative. Be on lookout for tomorrow. I'll be having another myofascial release technique. I don't remember which one. I have a whole list of things that I'll be showing you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys very soon.